What's up, YouTube? How is everyone? I hope good. I am here today with messages from deceased loved ones, um, two messages from the divine, and one message from your spirit animals. I have four piles to choose from: pile one, pile two, pile three, or pile four. I'll let you give you just a few minutes to do that, or a few seconds, and we'll get started. Okay, let's start with pile one. The first card is You Have Nothing to Feel Guilty About. I'm going to put it here. Sweetheart, I see you tormenting yourself with what if questions concerning my life, health, and passing. You wonder whether you could have intervened so that I'd still be in my physical body. I am standing next to you right now to soothe away these thoughts. It's so important for you to understand that you did nothing wrong, that my physical passing was divinely timed, and that you couldn't have changed anything. Please don't burden yourself with guilt or any longer. Guilt is a complete waste of earthly time, which is meant to be used in service of love. Guilt doesn't undo anything. I have forgiven myself for everything that I think I did or didn't do. But in the end, I learned that everything's already forgiven. And I pray that you also forgive yourself, because you are so very loved and understood. I love this deck. This is my Talking to Heavens deck. I love it. The next card for pile one is going to be I Had to Leave That Way. Please don't relive my death in your mind, as from my perspective, it was very different from how you imagine. To me, it was like a dream that culminated in a very happy ending. Yes, I was so sad to leave you, our loved ones, and our life together. But I have to be honest and say that I am truly happy here. My soul is so enriched by all that I'm learning, and I'm still able to be with you and help you. I am finally free of all earthly suffering, which allows me to love you even more than before. My life plan was designed with divine wisdom, and that included the timing and the way in which I exited. It is the same with your life and everyone else's. It's exciting to finally know these truths and to share them with you. Please know that I am very sorry that the mode of my passing brought pain to you. And yet everything happened exactly as it was supposed to happen. You couldn't have stopped it or changed anything. There was no other way. The next one is for my postcards from deceased loved ones. And it says, Dearest you, on earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So, to get the answers you seek, you must be vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask why do you tell it? Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see other stories overlap and entwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you. A story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world according to the story you will tell about it. So make sure make sure they are stories you are proud of. Genuine Love Fan Club. Work. I am available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source of all prosperity and will provide. This is a message from the divine. I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. The next one's also a message from the divine. There isn't a soul on the planet who doesn't crave your approval. This will be a message from your loved one. Balance. And it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world and do so without judgment. Balance means bringing a sense of stability and wholeness into every area of your life. Many times when you look at a situation objectively, you will resonate with one side more than the other. Excuse me. Try not to view either as good or bad, but simply recognize that it is what it is. Excuse me. The true nature of the scales of balance is to give both sides of a situation your equitable, objective perspective. It can be difficult to understand the side that you don't relate to, but that is a lesson in itself. What is it about you that prevents you from giving both sides of the coin your non-judgmental assessment? This situation or person has been placed in your path to teach you that everyone has his or her own unique, authentic life story, and you must put yourself in that person's shoes to really understand his or her motivation. Balance is a godly virtue, and it is struck. You will reap the benefits of insight and compassion. That was a powerful message for sure. Here's another message for you from your deceased loved ones. It's going to be heavenly signs, which is really cool considering what the reading is. Have you been seeing a lot of butterflies lately, dear one? This card comes to you as one of many signs you are receiving from above to let you know that you are loved and watched over. Heaven frequently dispatches butterflies to signal that a passed on loved one is happy and sending you encouragement. Additional signs may include birds, feathers, and rainbows, or something else in nature. Or your signs might involve coins, music, or other human-made items. You are asked to notice and trust these signs so that you'll feel heaven's presence in your daily life. When you know that you're being watched over and loved, you will feel safer and more secure following the path of your dreams. Additional meaning, an anniversary or birthday, answered prayers, achieving big dreams, one little step at a time. And then the last message for pile number 1 is going to be a message from your spirit animal. And you received the hummingbird. Turn away from infidelity so that love may blossom. Dedicate beauty of bombing, sun-kissed chimes. Hummingbird is faithful to the blossoms that nourish her and knows that there is little more to love than infidelity. If a partner is unfaithful, it is time to soar away and taste the affection of another. If you no longer love them, fly away before you bruise their being and take away something essential from your own soul that will leave you less open to love the next time it is offered. So that's what I have for pile number 1. I hope that it resonated. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will definitely see you on my next reading. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, pile number 2, we're going to get started with yours. The first message is from your deceased loved one. Tears cleanse the soul. When I cry, I am even closer to you, hugging and reassuring you. Sometimes you feel my presence and sometimes not. However, I want you to know how beautiful you are when you are vulnerable with your heart, fully open, feeling your raw emotions. Tears are a way to wash our soul from impurities, such as fear and worry. It's healthy. It's a healthy means of releasing painful feelings. So I'm very proud of you for all I am very proud of you for allowing yourself to cry. I know it's difficult and that you want the pain to end, and it will, I promise. Just know that your heart heals faster as you allow it to experience all of these feelings. Don't try to stay composed or hold back tears. Cry if and when you need to. People will understand. And if they don't, then that says much more about them than it does about you. Because God gave us the ability to shed tears for healing reasons, and it takes a strong person to cry. And that's very true. Very, very true. Your next card's going to be I was met by so many loved ones. I want to put your mind at rest. I did not die alone. None of us ever comes into the earth world or ever enters into heaven alone. I was met by all of our loving relatives, friends, and even souls I did not expect. I was greeted so beautifully by my magnificent angels, teachers, and spirit guides who gently escorted me into my colorful heavenly life. It is all so splendid and all so real. I cannot express to you the amount of love I was welcomed with. It feels so natural to be loved. I think I forgot that when I was living on earth. When I came here, it was a wonderful reunion. It is a place where you see the best in everyone, and they also show you the best in yourself. It is indeed heaven. The next card is also going to be a message from your deceased loved ones. Dearest you, now is one of those times you are being asked to add some distance. Take a step back and do nothing but observe. Don't worry about how long it will take to regroup. Just know it's temporary and actually an opportunity to take a breath. Slow down and look at how far you've come. Decisions are the highest good are made when you have clarity, which comes from being open to information from both the intellect and the intuition. When you step into the role of observer, it's as if you turn on a switch that allows your soul to be an essential part of the information gathering and decision making process. In this way, you can approach things from a more neutral and non judgmental place. We know you'll make the right choice. Trust us when we say now is not the time to get too close to the fray. Step back now. You will be glad you did. Love you. Then we have confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravo of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, O Lord. Grant me courage I never knew I had. The next two cards are messages from the divine universe. Hope is conductive for miracles. Dwell on what you love. Asking someone to change is like pruning a tree. Neither will ever be the same. Scarier still is that you can't quite know in what new directions you'll grow. I wouldn't change a leaf on you, the universe. The next one will be a message from your spirit animal, and it's the lion. Banish loneliness by reaching out to special friends. Lions don't waste her days in needless physical exhausting situations. But they cultivate energy by sleeping, resting, and companionable, gosh, that's a word, lounging, working long, exhausting hours for the money to purchase goods, leaves little time for the pleasures of friendship. Loneliness is spirit diminishing. Designer clothes make poor companions. Lion has padded into your card to remind you how vital friends and neighbors really are. Reach out to those around you and be open to others. And the next two cards will be from your deceased loved ones. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. You are love. It is your inherent vibration. The obstacles and challenges of the physical dimension attempt to trick you into thinking that there are other ways to view life, but there is only one way that is natural to your being, love. This card simply reminds you that your soul is made of God's pure divine vibrational force of love, and that you need to bring this awareness to bear on every aspect of your life and being. Love is a healing energy. All anxiety and drama cannot exist in the aura of love. Most souls have come back upon this earth to learn, accept, and to utilize this harmonic force and to see its effect upon their life. It is your time to remind others of strength of their own power of God and assist them in knowing fully that love is the most powerful element in the universe. It builds fortresses and strengthens even the most lost person. When we live in the power of love, then and only then will we know truth. True love is a spiritual link between us and God. It will guide our footsteps through the conflicts of the material world and will cleanse our hearts and unwanted faucets of the human personality. And your last card is going to be spiritual growth. This card signifies that change you are currently in the midst of the completing, is part of your spiritual growth. It will bring about great blessings even if challenges present themselves along the way. As this experience comes to a conclusion, you'll know that you are very strong indeed. In fact, this situation will push you to leave behind your comfort zone. You'll reach deep inside to a reserve of strength that you didn't know you had. This strength is both peaceful and powerful, and it helps you learn new life lessons as well as let go of old pain and forgive your past. Additional meaning, spiritual seeking, a change of religion or new spiritual path, being true to yourself, a legal issue, a health challenge. So that's what I have for pile number 2. Let's go ahead and move on to pile number 3. Pile number 2. I hope that resonated with you. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on my next video. Okay, pile number 3, here we go. The first two cards are messages from deceased loved ones, and the first one is remember me by the happy memories we create. I can see you remembering me with heaviness in your heart because you worry and grieve. This is normal, beautiful, and understandable emotions, and they are part of healing. However, when the dust settles, I really wish that you would focus upon our happy times instead of the sad ending. Keep my memory alive by thinking of me at our most joyful times. When something stirs a pleasant memory, talk to me about this and know that I will hear you and share the sentimental moment with you. Your next card is going to be I have no more earthly worries. I have to be honest with you. Life was very stressful for me. I probably should have been more open and forthcoming about my feelings because I held them in most of the time, and that was damaging for my physical and emotional. I will admit to you now that I was deeply afraid during my life. I was afraid that you and others wouldn't love me if you knew who I truly was. I felt like I was deeply flawed and didn't want you to know. Now that I'm here, though, everything's turned in a completely new direction. I now see that I had nothing wrong with me except my belief that I was flawed. And that belief caused me to act in ways that were hurtful to myself and others. I apologize for hurting you. I thank God that I have no more earthly worries, and I can now express myself fully to you as I truly am. Now that I no longer am concerned about others' judgments and don't stress about money, work, or day-to-day life, I am completely carefree. This is a message from your deceased loved one also. Dearest you, there is only you, and you have a unique path and a special purpose. You are supposed to have specific experiences in this world and meet certain people, but then it is up to you how you live, how you awake and choose to be, and how willing you are to grow and strip away what's false. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good according to society standards, but you can't know anyone's internal experience. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. Don't be distracted by what others are doing or accomplishing. Stay focused on what inspires you. That's how you get successful and find happiness. Want what you have now, not what someone else has. We love you intensely and know your journey ahead is sparkling with miracles and wondrous things. Trust. Loving you forever and ever. Service. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and what want you offer all and want to be our service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. The next two cards are going to be messages from the universe. My faith is the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Don't be misled. When fear speaks, it's always wrong unless being chased by wild beasts. And when love speaks, it's always right and usually bouncy. Game on, the universe. I have a message from your spirit animal, which is the crocodile. The alchemy of energy teaches that death will always yield new life. Silently slipping through her riverine world, guardian of the margins between land and water, of the mud from which life springs. Crocodile is the keeper of all knowledge. Her wisdom speaks both of the enduring nature of life and its utter fragility, of gentleness and how death yields life and the constant transformation of all energy. If Crocodile has swum to you, the time has come to examine the mysteries of life and prepare yourself for rebirth and the wonders it will bring. And your last card is going to be relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. In the three-dimensional world in which we live, there is a sense that we are separate from one another and also that we meet by chance. This is an illusion. The people in our lives are drawn to us and are here for a reason. It is through sharing experiences and having relationships with others that we begin to understand ourselves. When someone appears in our life, you must see what is not resolved or whole in the person and understand the lessons he or she brings home to you. You draw others to you like magnets in order to learn aspects of yourself. The people you have close relationships with on earth are usually members of your soul family. You have chosen to incarnate together to help each other learn lessons, even though it may not seem that way to you. Once a lesson is learned, don't be surprised if that person fades away. People are in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That's what I have for you, pile 3. So let's go ahead and move on to pile 4. I hope that it resonated for you. Um, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Okay, pile number 4. The first 3 cards are going to be from your deceased loved ones. I am sorry, please forgive me is your first card. Now that I'm over here, I've had a chance to review my life. I understand how my actions affected you, and I need to apologize so that both of our souls can move forward. You see, if either one of us is hanging on to guilt or resentment, it stalls our personal growth. Please know that every moment I was doing the very best I could. I will now finally admit to you how frightened I was. I made an effort to appear strong, but underneath I was scared of everything, including life. I covered up my fears by closing my heart to feeling emotions, and I know this hurt you quite a bit. I promise that I've now learned from this error, but I've also had to forgive and have compassion for myself. I ask that you please do the same and forgive me too. Your next card is going to be, if I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. While living on earth, if I had realized just how creative and powerful my thoughts were and their effect on another person, I would have been so much more aware of what I put out. Of course, I have regret, but now I also realize that these were merely opportunities to grow. We never stop learning here or on earth. My deepest wish is that from my words you learn to treat another person as you would yourself. Let go of the old earthly patterns of judgment and fear, and make an effort to bring love to everything and everyone who walks upon your path. That way, when you come here, you will have no room for regrets, I promise. Your next message from your deceased loved one is, dearest you, selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness to someone for no reason than as an exercise of the heart. You will be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. We know it often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows, and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. Contentment. You can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly remember, I'm right here resting in God. The next two messages are from the Divine Universe. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. And then I have, you are born with that quality. Do you want to know what's really beautiful? Confidence. Do you want to know what's really powerful? Persistence. Do you want to know what's really sexy? Please, I know about sexy. Not needing to be needed. And if still they don't notice your good looks, your strength, and your sachet, I guess, could you feel more sorry for them? Tally ho, the universe. Your next card is going to be a message from your spirit animal, which is deer. Take notice of the messages in whispers and secret adrift on the breeze. Gentle, alert, every sense keen, stands motionless amongst the leafy trees. The deer be acutely aware now of what drifts to you on the breeze. Conversation, even the fresh spice of cologne, may hold secrets untold. Deer protects herself by gathering peacefully with others and counsels that you now seek to be part of a bigger whole. If estranged from family or friends, Deer advises that they ask for forgiveness and forgive in turn, fostering mutual love and the regeneration that this brings. And then the last two cards are going to be messages from your deceased loved ones. Happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Before incarnating, your soul created a blueprint for you to follow in this physical dimension. The easiest way to chart this path is to follow your bliss. Life is full of choices and opportunities. Spirit, in its infinite wisdom, has given you the emotion of happiness to guide you. The signposts are always there, but you have to acknowledge them and have the courage to follow them. As you hold this card, do you feel that you are living a life of happiness? In what areas is it lacking? It may be time to be truthful with your soul self. Listen to its language, and if there is someone or a scenario holding you back from experiencing complete happiness, even though it may be painful to admit, you need to be completely truthful. Be mindful of how happiness will affect every aspect of your life on your path. Also, if there is someone else in your life who needs to be brought into the awareness of happiness, this is important to recognize as well. Others will want to learn from you, and whether you admit it or not, you can be their teacher. When you are filled with love and compassion, not only do you bring happiness into your life, but you lead others by example. Be the light. Okay, and your last card